like to live with family after marriage?
No, not really.
All right.
That's partly why I want to get married, so I can move out.
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.
Love is being soulmates, really.
In Islam, marriage is a fundamental part of a Muslim's life. It is widely accepted across all schools of thought that getting married is half your faith.
Half your religion if you marry, and that is a huge thing that my parents also believe in.
However, for Muslims, finding a life partner in Britain isn't the easiest of tasks, especially when you are observing the faith while searching.
To find someone that you physically, mentally and emotionally connect with is so difficult.
12 wonderful people have agreed to embark on a unique journey with us, not only to share their experiences and struggles in finding a life partner, but also to learn new things about themselves along the way.
I feel that I'm ready now to share my life with someone. I just hope that it happens one day.
If I was to meet someone else, I'd probably take it very, very slow.
Does marriage being seen as more of a religious duty distort one's judgment in seeking a life partner?
I think you say you're looking for a wife, but I don't think you are looking for a wife.
With divorce always being a risk, could some be about to make the same mistakes again?
Don't look for someone who's like you, look for someone who's going to complement you.
This journey isn't about matchmaking. It's an insight into how 12 British Muslims are dealing with the struggles of trying to complete half their faith.
I'm not paralysed, so mashallah, Allah's given me every component to live a normal life, and that includes the physical side, the mental side, every side really. So again, you've got to explore the person. For me, I would never want to get married to someone who is pressurised into getting married to me.
Everyone has a right to love someone and be loved in return.
So I've always said to my family that if I'm getting married, you have to ask the girl first that she is comfortable with marrying me.
Others believe that one day they will almost certainly find that special person and simply have to wait for fate to catch up. Some people have a vision of what that special person may look like. Beautiful to our eyes, perfectly formed, gorgeous smile.
Everybody's looking for their ideal, and obviously when they come someone across like me, clearly visually, I'm not ideal.
But would our vision of love be inclusive enough for this beautiful person to have a disability?
I'm not physically able, 1. 2, I'm not 6 foot or whatever. I'm far from the norm as in one's search, but I think if they got to know me as a person, then I think there's more layers to me than just that. Hello everybody, won't you listen to me? I'm gonna tell you about disability. A man's got a heart, a soul and a brain. Hey, you and me, man, we're just the same. So look at me and not my chair. You look at me like I'm not there. So what is it that stops you seeing in this chair is a human being. Disabilities are nothing new. In a world full of rainbows, there's more black than blue. No wheelchair access in this world full of darkness. Make me a ramp so I can turn on the lamp to see life in a new light. My name is Jamil Khan.
Meet Jamil, who is 38 and originally from Burnley, but now resides in Sunderland.
I originally came here to do my degree, and I've since stayed, and 18 years later I'm still here. Yahoo!
He's funny, intelligent.
In some summers we travelled.
Independent.
I've lived by myself for 18 years.
He studied computer science and is a sportsman.
It's a wheelchair football. It's played in an electric wheelchair, so you have a goalkeeper and 3 forward players. I went to the very first Power Chair Football World Cup. I was quite honoured to be the first British Pakistani to be captain of England, be chosen amongst 8 people to be the captain. So that was a very proud moment for me. I went all the way to Japan, which was an amazing experience in itself. Met all different disabilities from all over the world, which was amazing. The purpose, I think, for me was the self-achievement that I've come from nothing with hardly any support to getting so far, and also be accepted for who I am rather than say my colour or my disability or anything like that. So I think just to be getting somewhere on merit, I think that was very important.
He is looking for love and wants to share his life with a special someone.
Loyalty and I think for me marriage is for life. I think you can do things, you know, like the normal way, but I like to do them halal way. So it's marriage for me. When I do get married, is for life. So I feel like the most think is loyalty and being faithful and stuff like that is most important in a marriage, and working through your ups and downs. My ideal partner would have the characteristics of being humble, down to earth, bubbly, a nice human being who doesn't see differences but sees the good in people, you know. We're all Muslims, and I think we should all accept each other for who we are. It's not about just getting married though, it's about meeting the right person who sees past your disability, who's comfortable with your disability. I'm quite far away from the communities where generally British Pakistani communities are based.
Due to there not being many prospects in his locality, Jamil is very active online in his search for a marriage partner.
I think online, it's mainly one of shock, I assume, even though I can't see their faces. And a lot of it's, again, through education. They haven't been educated to meet someone like myself. But when they meet me in person, it's the fact that they just totally forget, because basically my personality and that comes across, and I'm very bubbly and talkative. So yeah, so basically in person I've never had a problem with anybody, but I think online, because it's behind a computer, I think a lot of people feel like they can't see past it.
Searching online is his main vehicle in finding a marriage partner.
That's why initially I went on, was the pure fact that if I was to meet someone, would be for meeting me rather than my disability, you know. So that would be the biggest bonus for me, is to meet someone that sees me for me.
So matchmaker Adeem is reviewing his profile. It appears he does have a strong profile.
I met you, mashallah, you're a great guy, you've got a wealth of experience.
I went canoeing in the Tyne River, went like camping, just meeting different people from different walks of life. And
you've got so much going for you.
Joined the Islamic Society, you know, so kept Islam very much close to my heart.
And I think you really would make an amazing husband for somebody.
Jamil is also very active and has a very specific skill.
So here we are, we have arrived at the beach. Now I'm going to take my wheelchair out. So I've mastered this technique. Now the box is thinking I'm opening my wheelchair.
Due to this physical disability, he is unable to walk.
Now inshallah, if I met someone in the future, so that's where we'll probably come. Enjoy little walks. It's not a problem pushing myself. I see life a lot of the time in positive ways. In the summer, just come and just relax, enjoy the fresh air. Islam is peace, that's what it means. So I'm a person that seeks peace, seeks friendship with different people. You can hear the waves. That gives you like tranquility in your mind. So it switches you off from all the worldly needs of a human being. I think I like to see the world a bit more peaceful. We should be open-minded. Our culture, Pakistani culture, doesn't allow that. I think it's very narrow-minded in the sense of it sort of stigmatizes disability. And
at times he has had to deal with very difficult treatment from others.
They're never seeing you as a human being, never seeing you as a person. They're always seeing you as a person with a disability. So it should be the other way around. They should see the person first and get to know the person, and then decide for themselves whether that person is right for them. But initially they're seeing the disability or thinking that I've got a disability, so therefore let's just dismiss this person straight away without even giving him a second chance. So.
Jamil says his community has not been as accepting of his disability.
They're very negative towards sort of like understanding one's needs. The problems comes when I do talk to someone, they turn around and say, well, my parents not agreeing to it because you've got a disability or whatever. A lot of people feel like they can't see past it, and it's always come back as a no, because like I said, they can't understand how someone would want to marry a person with a disability, because they assume that disability is someone who should just wait for death, basically.
Despite living alone, he feels the time is right to meet someone.
Non-Muslim friends who have recently got married, who are wheelchair users, and have married an able-bodied person, and again, if they love them and they feel happy with them, all great. But for me, I wouldn't accept someone just because I'm on my own. I would only accept someone who we felt compatible. For me, it's working together and learning together and growing together. So for me, as I don't want to be judged, I don't want to judge anybody. So for me, that person can be of any level in their religious terms.
Will Jamil find someone special who will enable him to complete half his faith?
Inshallah, yeah, of course. Islam gives you that. It gives you faith, it gives you hope. So as the great man said, Stephen Hawking, where there's life, there's hope, and I firmly believe that. For me, it's mainly to make someone else happy, and knowing that I make someone else happy for who they are. And I think that's what life's about, is always to give it your best. And if you're giving it your best and you don't succeed, then at least you've tried. And that's the one regret I will never have, is not trying. So
Jamil has the right to be loved and is sincere in his search.
I'm very romantic, yeah. I'm a very romantic person. When it comes to songs and stuff like that, I've always liked romantic songs. And as I've grew older, I realised, yeah, I've got like a big romantic heart in me. I have like a romantic weekend away to like somewhere like Venice, one of the romantic places. I think I'm more of a giver than a receiver, so I think I would more than likely be giving rather than receiving. So I think the most romantic thing someone can do is be accepting of who I am.
I really like the way you've wrapped your hijab in your profile picture.
Jazakallah, brother.
Please don't call me brother.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.
Hey, have you been to Hajj or Umrah?
Yeah, I did Umrah a few years ago.
It's something I really
Want to do when you get married, right?
Yeah, inshallah.
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.
Little girls may dream of having their own Cinderella story, the dream of finding their prince. But then we grow up and realise this is far from reality. Meet Syra, a 28-year-old single and practising Muslim from Stoke-on-Trent.
I'm a qualified English teacher by profession, and I live with my parents at home.
She's looking for the perfect man to perfect her faith.
Ideally, my partner would be practicing at the same level, if not more. To be honest with you, I'm at that stage where personally I don't want to settle down now, and I don't want to get into long-term friendships or these emotional attachments and get my head messed up.
Islam is very central to her life, so naturally she wants this in her husband.
It would be a really big benefit to me in my life that I had a practicing Muslim who'd help me. I wouldn't say essential, but desirable that he's of high caliber in the religion.
But are there any wider characteristics other than practicing she wants in a husband?
Other things come into play. You know, he should be, inshallah, independent, financially stable. I think it's very important to have a person who is good-hearted, easygoing, gentle, who makes life easy for you.
Finding someone who practices Islam is key to her search, as she feels this will bring her closer to her Lord.
I think everybody feels a little bit of pressure at some stage. You know, my parents aren't so strict that they would tie me down or force me to do anything. Inshallah, no, it wasn't to that extent, but it was sometimes like, oh, you need to get married now. But even in our Islamic teachings, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, tie your camel and then put your trust in Allah, which means do whatever you have to do to accomplish something, and then put your trust in God. If it's meant to be, it will happen.
Does she have what it takes to handle the responsibilities of a marriage, or is it simply to fulfill a religious duty?
I would love it, and I would be really happy if my future spouse was the one that I could kind of, you know, learn the Quran from, for example, or do things with him. He would take the lead, basically, rather than me taking the lead. That would be amazing. But again, that all happens if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed it to happen. So ideally I'd want that. However, the minimum requirements that he would be on the correct Aqidah, the correct creed of the faith, you know, trying to perfect his character. I need to see that if he's not so high above, then he has to show to me that he's trying to be, and that inshallah will suffice.
Will she overlook the inner beauty of someone by focusing entirely on their level of belief?
The religion and the personality, the mannerisms, are both kind of intertwined in one for me. Both of them are very important to me. Sometimes I could say that he has to be easygoing, but if he's just easygoing and a nice guy but got no religion at all, I can't do with him. Or if he's really religious and he hasn't got the akhlaq, the mannerisms, then what's the point? I can't live with somebody like that. So they kind of intertwined for me.
Religious practice does not always equate to a successful marriage, as people implement the principles wrongly.
I mean, I wouldn't settle for just anybody as well, to be honest. But then again, living in this world, you can't be unrealistic, you have to be practical. It doesn't always work like that. You get people of different levels and abilities. Some people are new, some people who are at the top. Everyone's at different stages.
Saira is educated, practicing, independent and family-oriented. However, after 2 years of searching, she's still struggling.
I've attended 1 or 2 marriage meetings, but most times when I went there, I saw most professional Muslims, so people who had high careers and big careers or really into their careers, but with very little spirituality. And therefore there wasn't that click, or there wasn't that, you know, it's not always about how good looking you are or what job you've got. It's not about that. It's coming back to the basics again. And therefore, you know, alhamdulillah, I didn't have much luck with that. But I think maybe a few of them, when I spoke to one, and the first thing he said to me is, I don't pray 5 times a day. So he kind of immediately knew what my expectations were before even before saying anything to me. So I know I can come across as that. But inshallah, I'm trying to be open-minded as long as there's the minimum requirements met in the religion.
Are Saira's strict criterion causing barriers in her search? Internet matchmaker Adeem is looking at Saira's online profile.
This is Saira's profile. Wow, what can I say? It's absolutely huge and very, very detailed. The username is Devout Girl, which she so is. She is a devout girl, there's no doubt about that. So she really summarised that in the first word and her username. And also she's got a private gallery, so she's got several photographs in a private gallery. And again, I mean, that's good, because we know she wears a niqab, and it's there, the fact that she's wearing the niqab and the private gallery is there, it makes complete sense. So whoever's interested and whoever she wants to take it forward with, the photographs are there and available. And she also describes the type of person that she's looking for in a lot of detail as well. She's got this kind of utopia in terms of where she wants to be. She wants to go out and kind of settle in a Middle Eastern country where it's Islamic, and she's going to hear the call to prayer, a kind of a relaxed selfie in terms of her orientation. She goes to a lot of religious talks. Her kind of passion and her understanding of religion. She talks about her childhood, and she talks about her kind of the past, and she talks a lot about her future as well, in terms of what her ideal kind of future is going to be, and who that person to complete her faith and to complete her life is going to be like.
Okay, so this is one of my local bookshops. I come here quite a bit, and these are some of my favourite books. So this is basically the Arabic alphabet for the beginners that want to learn, and my nephew's currently learning how to read the Quran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, how are you? You okay? I just want this, please, discount. There's an event coming up soon. We're going to have one in our mosque. It's called the Empowered Woman. So I should be going to that, hopefully.
She says that she's a bit relaxed and laid back, but I think in terms of a profile, it says anything but, not preachiness, but there's quite a lot of kind of, you know, it wants to be like this, it has to be like this, and it has to be like this. Maybe she's kind of too fairy tale in terms of the person that she's looking for, and I think she may be too kind of focused on Islam as well. She's not getting married to a book, she's not getting married to a scholar, she's getting married to a person. It's really, really full on in terms of the type of person that she's looking for as well. In many ways, the detail is good, and in other ways, I think she's brought the detail in such a way that she's really focused and narrowed down, designing and manufacturing the type of individual that she's looking for. So a bit of this and a bit of this and a bit of this, and this is exactly the type of person that I want, and anything away from that is going to be a kind of a big cross and a no-go.
Adeem feels this looks very exhaustive, and will put people off.
The major overall improvement that I'd suggest for Sarah is kind of just lighten her profile up really. It's very rare for me to say this, but really reduce the description down a little bit and make it a bit more appealing. You know, you're going to have to spend a good 20 minutes to digest what she's wrote here and maybe read it a couple of times before you actually understand who she is. And maybe, you know, 3 or 4 times to understand and get a grasp of what she's looking for. Maybe kind of like soften it off a little bit and, you know, add a little bit more of a personality into that. The nitty-gritty detail can come afterwards in a first meeting, in a second meeting, with obviously a chaperone. But what you need to get across in your profile is a kind of a view of who you are, an overall view of who you are, an overall view of the type of person that you're looking for. But, you know, I really wish her the best luck because she's put a lot of effort into this, and I hope that there is somebody out there that can understand her from this and get success.
Syra is a proud resident of Stoke-on-Trent. She's very much immersed within the Muslim community.
I am Imam here in this centre. She is a good Muslim sister. She also worked here as a volunteer, like teaching kids, and she travels around all over the Stoke-on-Trent and participates in religious and preaching activities. This is obligatory in Islam that you have to marry, because this is natural to have intimate relations, and then you continue that marriage. And when you want to continue something, you have to be very patient and very serious about that relationship.
Everybody wants companionship in life. Obviously, we don't indulge in relationships outside of marriage. We're not supposed to anyway. Therefore, the best way is to get married, obviously get to know that person and then make a decision. Love is basically finding a person that you can just share everything with, who is your best friend, your soulmate, who you can say absolutely anything to, and who will make sacrifices for you that others won't make and not everyone will make. And that's love, and that needs to exist, whether it's with your parents, your household, or whoever, and obviously more importantly in the husband-wife kind of relationship.
Ignoring worldly compatibility is very risky and impractical, as there needs to be a balance. Does Syra realise this?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Hey, do you pray?
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
What about Game of Thrones? Do you watch that?
No way, I've just finished season 4.
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.
Sister, did it hurt when you fell from heaven?
Oh, wow. Really?
Well, I want to make sure that you go back there in one piece.
Oh, inshallah.
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.
Sorry, I've got a good joke with my white friends always say to me, oh, like, how come you don't drink alcohol? And I said, well, I was born legless, you know what I mean? So I says, mashallah, even though I'm Muslim and I don't drink, you know what I mean? I was already blessed with that experience just by being born, you know, so.
We are following 38-year-old Jamil.
Just do some YMCA.
A fun-loving and independent New Age Macam from Sunderland.
Yes!
You got it.
You being the man that you are, you know what I mean? You're in charge, right? You're the man. You lead the pack.
You should always try to improve it the best you can in anything you do, so. I think education has given me a path to be independent. I don't think disability is sort of portrayed in a positive light. I don't think there's many education programs to promote it within kids. I mean, I get a lot of kids coming up to me in town centres, etc., saying, oh, how come you haven't got legs? And depending on their age, if they're quite young, I just tell them I've left them at home.
He is simply wanting to complete half his faith.
For me, marriage is something for life, to grow old together. I like to get out there, meet people. I'm very sociable, so I can sort of mix in any environment. The thing annoying me about my partner, my future partner, is someone that like basically Jekyll Hyde. I don't know really where I am with them, and they don't communicate. I've got friends from different backgrounds, Muslims, non-Muslims. I can kind of get on with everybody really. I think that's what the world should be. I think people should be able to get on as human beings instead of having different barriers. The barriers are very, very straightforward in the sense of that they don't see past the shell. So they see the shell and they just make their own judgments, i.e. this person can't do anything for themselves. The basic tasks of, say, even making a cup of tea or brushing your own teeth or even having a shave. And they just assume, even pushing a wheelchair, you know, stuff like that. So it's just all sorts of things that people assume before they even talk to the person or even spend maybe an hour with them to see how they live their life, you know. The more someone portrays the positive side of a disability, I think the more it'll be accepted. I mean, it's come a long way in the last year or two in itself from Paralympics, being on TV. So I think a lot of people have had their eyes opened that yes, we do obviously have barriers with a disability, but they can be overcome with positive mind.
Jamil feels this community may not be as forthcoming in viewing people with disabilities as marriage potentials.
A lot of people judge me because I've got a disability and they assume a lot of things. For example, now I'm driving a car, as you can see, and the first question I get asked when I say to someone I drive a car is, have you passed the driving test? Now, of course, I've passed my driving test because otherwise I won't be allowed on the road legally. So they're the kind of things that you get asked on a regular basis. So I'm very independent in the sense that I can do my own personal hygiene, so shower, shave, etc. I don't mind whatsoever sort of answering questions about my disability. It makes me feel good that at least they're interested. So therefore that I can sort of tell them what I can and can't do. I can let them know that yes, we are minority when it comes to a disability, but we shouldn't just be not seen or heard. Obviously I'm a wheelchair user because I can't walk, as you can see, but other than that I'm quite mobile in getting out in and out of car and stuff like that.
This has left Jamil feeling quietly sad, even though it may not be apparent.
When I was growing up, I mean, people get asked questions like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I never got that question because presumably they thought I wouldn't amount to much, you know, as a person because I've got a disability. I think it really hit home at 16 when I went to college, and I wanted to have what all my friends were going to have, i.e. a career of some sort. Drive and be independent is something I strive towards. Education has really played a big part in my life. It's helped me to be who I am today. Yeah, I've been in places where most British lads gonna go, and you know, I've been in shisha places, been out in places where you know you mingle with other people. So I've been abroad, you know. So I've experienced all that, like every other young lad in the past. So mashallah, I've been able to see that side of life as well, and been quite good with it, and quite inspired other people and educated other people just by being there and enjoying myself. So they've enjoyed themselves because they've looked at themselves and thought, oh, look at me, I've got all my faculties. Yeah, he's a guy, you know, who hasn't, and he's still enjoying himself, still got a smile on his face, you know.
He puts on a brave face.
Because I think there's a lot of people out there that don't get the help or don't have the mental capacity to be somebody, just not have that ambition. I've always had that ambition. I think education is very important to, you know, not only educating yourself and doing well for yourself, but also passing that on to other people and other generations to come. And again, that message of being positive about your life. So I'm hoping to maybe one day write a book about my journey, how life is living with a disability in the real world.
Jamil has travelled to Newcastle to meet Hollywood comedian and director of the American Sharia movie, Omar Reagan.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Nice to meet you.
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm great, doing great, doing fantastic, mashallah.
All right, man. So hey, welcome. Like, I'm really happy to talk to you about this because you know I feel.
Yeah,
like,
we feel the connection.
Yeah, man. We're getting real close. Tell me, what do you want to get out of marriage?
Well, first of all, as a Muslim person, it's half of my deen. So that's obviously the main sort of priority as a Muslim person. Then second of all, it's obviously having a life partner. So going through the ups and downs, the happies, the good times, mainly, hopefully, inshallah. Just doing things, you know, like everybody does, you know, together. So as a husband and wife.
Yes.
Inshallah, maybe having children in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, inshallah, yeah. Maybe going to Hajj pilgrimage.
All right.
Yeah, and mainly the companionship.
So you feel like marriage will get you further in life and help you
Inshallah,
advance?
yeah, of course, because obviously I would support the woman in her dreams and vice versa, you know. So I'm looking for that saying. After every successful man, there's a successful woman.
Yes.
So hopefully we can maybe.
I heard that saying.
Yeah, I heard that saying.
And you look so successful already.
Exactly, but mashallah, I need to pretend that then when I've got the woman.
But let me ask you, because people want to know, do you feel like that you're set in your ways, or that you're able to, marriage is like compromising, getting to know her? How do you feel? You feel like...
I feel it's a very open field, as in, obviously it's got to be from both sides. You understand? In my particular case, it's very unique because I've got a disability.
Yes.
So obviously she's got to see past that and see me, and then obviously after that, I think it's just game on, and hopefully inshallah get married. You know. I
feel you, man. What's your type, Jamil?
My type?
You like tall women? You like short women? You like?
I like tall women.
Yes?
Yeah, it helps me to get a ladder from B&Q and then...
You want to look up to her, huh?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
As long as she don't look down on you.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
Hey. So let me ask you, I mean, being a Muslim, like spiritual connection, spiritual relationship, do you have like rules as far as what you want your wife to be like? Does she wear hijab? Does she doesn't wear hijab?
I think Islamically, the girl hopefully should know how to sort of behave anyway as an Islamic person. I'm not that kind of controlling person. As long as they are Islamically within the boundaries of what they're doing.
You're not controlling. What if she's controlling? In a good way.
Yeah, in a good way.
What if she comes in and be like, Jamil, I said, like, how do you feel? Is this the kind of woman for you?
If it's very loud, then I'll put some ear in. No, on a serious note, it's more about communication.
Yes.
I mean, if they understand you, they feel your power anyway. You understand? They know what they can and can't do.
Omar has a question he feels most people will be wanting to know, but will Jamil be comfortable answering?
Okay, so Jamil, obviously, I don't know, everybody has needs, and woman has needs, and some of their main concerns may be their needs. So, do you get these questions a lot online?
Yes, I do. I mean, the first question you'll get is, in a roundabout way, is, can you have a family? You know, and obviously that means one thing, that is the physical needs of another person.
That's right.
And mashallah, I'm blessed with that. You know, I'm on this side to look for the whole thing, the physical needs, the emotional needs, you know, everything. So even though like my outer shell, my arms, I have no legs, that has no bearings on me being able to give my future wife a full married life, and that includes the physical side.
See, now that is amazing, because you just cleared everything up for everybody out there. All of the women, that's going to be the number one concern, Jamil. And now they can just erase that out of their mind, because you're a beautiful person, beautiful personality. You're looking forward to being married. You're looking forward to pleasing your wife and satisfying her needs. And you're looking forward to having children. Inshallah. Oh my God, this is amazing. This is a beautiful guy. I think everybody needs to know that, so let's put it out there, Jamil. Let's put it out, man. Alhamdulillah. May Allah make this happen ASAP.
I'm not sure what qualities I want in my husband. I suppose someone who's sweet, has a nice dress sense, and is sociable.
I think you've just described a box of quality streets.
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.
I so need to lose weight. My mum's cooking is sick.
Well, if we hit it off, you will lose weight because I don't cook.
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.
I was pretty proud, to be honest, because there's not many people that can actually say they've captained one of the England teams. So I was pretty chuffed that he was one of my friends. I was quite a bit shocked because he did keep it a bit to himself at the beginning, but then when he told us, we were like, oh right, that's well good.
For me personally, it means everything to me because as a young boy, I always wanted to play football. Power chair football is like any other sport. It's competitive, it's powerful as in its name, it's very creative. The people from outside looking in can turn around and say, yes, this is, people are taking this serious. They are meaning, to take the sport further and make it bigger and bigger in the future and attract more people to the game.
There is just general sort of, maybe a bit of discrimination in society because of his disabilities, but as far as I know, I mean, even though he's been living on his own for many years, he's still like quite self-reliant and totally independent, and if he was going to be looking for a potential partner, I mean, I'd say partner because really that's what would probably suit him more. He needs like a life partner with him, and I can probably vouch for that. As a friend to me, he'd probably treat that life partner with just as much sort of friendship and love and do his very best to make them really happy. I don't think disabilities should come into the picture then, because I think after you get to know someone, then you just bypass them. They become like a byproduct. The disability doesn't really exist, if you know what I mean.
When I went on this marriage thing in the masjid when I spoke to somebody, the first thing he said to me, without making any conversation, any effort, he said to me, sister, I don't pray. And like it was like an immediate, I don't fit your criteria, or I'm not like you, or I'm not like what you're looking for.
Syra has travelled to Manchester to meet online matchmaker Adeem.
It's difficult these days, genuinely it's difficult. It's not, sometimes you'll find somebody, a brother or a sister, great personality, educated, good looking, everything, but they can't, there's still difficulty in that. And I've got lots of friends who are practicing, not at such a high level, but the good looking girls, they're nice girls, they're decent girls, they've got everything, they're educated, good jobs, everything, yet they're having the same problem. So it's not just me, it's a whole community of people that are finding it difficult.
Syra feels she has to lower her standards in order to find someone righteous.
I don't expect, Brad Pitt to come along.
Why not? I mean, is that something you're not looking for that? Is that something out of the way, or is it?
No, it's not that I'm not looking for it. It's because your expectations, you have to be realistic. And obviously with practicing people, there's another little barrier that you have to kind of come or go over, and so that makes it so sometimes it's better to lower your expectations, then you're not let down, or then you're open to considering more rather than having high.
Adeem doesn't agree and is quietly offended.
When you said because you're looking for somebody practicing, that must mean that you're looking for somebody who's a bit lesser than the norm. It sounds like you're lowering your standards though, and it sounds like you're lowering yourself because you're saying, I'm looking for somebody who's lesser because I'm a Muslim or I'm practicing Muslim. And I think you should just, I think that's a hang-up that it sounds like you have. And I think if you just put that to one side and look, I'm proud of being a Muslim and actually representing Muslims and being a Muslim and showing what Muslim is. And I think that adds value to people's lives. And I think, if and when you do kind of pray your 5 prayers, you become a more stable person, you become a more kind of reflective person. Because that's kind of patronizing to me, because I'm praying, why do you keep going on about that?
Yeah.
Let's move on to something a bit more.
Yeah.
It's
something else. Talk about something else.
So you have to have a connection between 2 human beings. That prayer is between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the connection there. What's your connection with your life partner going to be? Because what you're saying is like everybody, it's anybody who's praying 5 prayers. So what is that? There's something that's not gelling. There's that connection that's not happening, and I think that connection maybe from the short meeting that we've had, I think you may be putting people off by just being too kind of bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, yeah.
Praying. You know, being a Muslim is more than having a beard. Being a Muslim is more than praying. And I think when you're approaching somebody, if you come across as a bit more colourful as well as a human, as an individual, then that's an attraction. You know, I think that you take it as a given that you have to practice, and what is it more that you can offer that individual, and maybe that's the attraction that the other person is looking for as well. Okay, this is side A. Yep, she's Muslim, she's practicing, no problem. Let's put that to one side now. Let's find out about who is side A. And if you're telling them who you are as well, you know, it's a lifelong commitment. In fact, as Muslims, we believe that it's an eternal commitment. So for me, it's just giving, you know, being a bit more than just practicing Muslim in your search criteria.
Will Saira's one-dimensional search criteria help secure the right future partner?
When I say I want somebody practicing, I mean the basic things. Like praying, fasting, everybody does that. Most Muslims should really be doing that anyway. I'm not saying I want somebody who's just gonna be a scholar and just, you know, read books to me all day. I'm not saying that because I know, you know, alhamdulillah, I think I know a little bit about the deen anyway. But he needs to know his priorities. Like if he's at work and it's time to pray, then it doesn't matter what he's working or where he's working at or however busy he is. He should pray, and that's what I do. That's what I do. I've had obstacles with work and praying, and you know, issues like them, and that's what I mean with practicing.
But that's not my personality. You know, my personality is, if you like, what's your hobbies, what's your interests, what's your loves, what's your passion, what do you really want to do? What you know, you can still watch television, you can still, you know, you can still do activities together. What, you know, put a bit more emphasis on that. What is it that you want to do as a pastime? Okay, you pray, but that's a few minutes in the day. But what else do you want to do? What else is the compatibility? What else is there that side is looking for?
I've looked for, of course, the dunya is important. You know, looking at me, you wouldn't think I'm, you know, a qualified makeup, hair and henna artist, would you? You'd immediately think that, okay, she's practicing or whatever. But I have that and I understand that, and you know, that's a side hobby that I do. I go to the gym. I do lots of fitness classes. You know, I go out with my friends, I have a good time, I go on Islamic courses when I can as well. So it's not just that I sit down and I pray and that's it. Just
because you're a Muslim doesn't mean that you can't do all the rest of the things that other, you know, you can still enjoy and you can still, you know, definitely live a full, and if not a fuller life.
So I have considered somebody in the past who basically just prayed.
Okay.
And he was modelling at the same time, but he had his 5 prayers. He didn't have a beard. He didn't come from a practicing family. The thing that I liked about him was that even though he was in this career, and he's saying he wants to leave that and he wants to better himself, so therefore we've got something in common. So he said he wanted to change, so I said, okay then, now you prove that to me. So I said to him, okay, there's a weekend seminar coming up. I'm going to be going to that, and why don't you come along, kind of thing. So, and he had like 2 months notice. And he didn't work on the weekends. He was completely free, had nothing to do. And then he just pulled out last minute, and he made up some sort of an excuse. And I thought, okay, obviously he's just saying he wants to change and giving me the impression he wants to, but he's not really doing it because his dad said, get married to a practicing girl. He's doing it for that, and not really doesn't understand why he should be doing them things anyway. Then I was patient with him, and I thought, okay, then there's another one coming up. You missed that one. There's another one coming up on the weekend, and that was half the price of the other one. And if he was willing to go, I would have paid for him. You know, it wasn't about 30 quid or 60 quid, but he didn't make any attempt. And then when I would try to help him or, you know, anything like that, he would just backlash and be like, no, don't tell me what to do. And then I'm like, wait a minute, you said you wanted to change. You said you want to go and live in Saudi Arabia, and I'm trying to look into that. I'm giving you a chance here. So you have to prove that. I'm not going to just tie the knot with you because you say you want to change. Actions speak louder than words. So obviously, Qadarullah, that didn't progress. And then I said no to him politely. I said, I don't think we're going to be.
Is she willing to take on Adeem's much needed advice and move forward?
But in the sense of meeting somebody with not a beard, or meeting somebody who's, you know, who's not practicing, or who's practicing, or who's maybe, you know, in this environment or that environment, I think you just got to, just be a bit more kind of broader in your search criteria as well.
I dreamt I was honeymooning in Dubai and it was amazing.
Alhamdulillah. Could you dream about honeymooning in Manchester instead?
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.